go.
This is how we start.
This is how it all starts.
Okay. What's the name of our podcast, Julian?
So we were discussing what the name of our podcast would be.
About 2 minutes before we started recording.
About maybe 10 seconds.
10 seconds before we started recording.
And our conclusion is we have no good name, so we're going to call it Snapping Out of It with Chris and Julian because, well, let's first introduce ourselves. This is Christopher John Newman.
I think my full, license, people can look that up in a governmental document.
How many Christophers John Newmans exist in England,
don't know,
though?
maybe. There's that singer, John Newman.
Yeah, but there's thousands of you.
All right.
Anyway, this is Chris.
This is me.
I'm Julian.
Yeah. Oh, wait, so you don't get your full name?
No. I'm Julian. And we are in a band together called Snap Out.
We are.
And that's why our podcast is called Snapping Out of It with Chris and Julian.
Yeah.
Sometimes our drummer might be here, but we don't have one now. So if you're a drummer...
We literally just lost the drummer.
Our drummer...
to death. But...
Yeah, no, he's a really cool guy. We didn't fight with him. He's called Davide. He's a beautiful Italian man, and he's going to live in Japan, where he wishes to find himself a bride. Or a job.
Or a job.
So if you're in Japan, say hi to Davide from the 24th
At least for the next 6 months.
Yeah, for at least the next 6 months. You have the chance to meet that beautiful man. And I can tell you, he sweats like no one
I'm just going to point this out now. I told you this mic's quieter.
What mic is quieter?
My one, look.
Don't worry, man. I can fix it.
Whatever, man.
We're looking at the screen and Chris is freaking out. He's saying his mic is too distant.
It is. But it's not too distant. It's fine. Plus, I was given a pop shield because apparently I'm British. That means I spit a lot. Fucking hell.
It's true. So, I'm not racist, but I do hate all English people. They're not a race. No, I'm joking. I like you guys.
No, thanks.
So we're in a band together, and we thought that our name, the podcast name, should be Snapping Out of It because we don't have any other. We had a good name, which was In Between Songs, but that would mean we'd have to find 2 songs every.
That would have been too difficult.
Yeah, and we had another name.
We only have so many ourselves. It would have probably maybe lasted us 5 episodes.
Yeah. So, anyways, welcome, guys, to the podcast, and
I guess what we're talking about today. I personally think that our band history is pretty interesting, and I think that one day, if it's on a Wikipedia page, it would be a pretty decent read. Yeah,
maybe. If you're a Wikipedia editor, start taking notes, bitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, our history is weird. And
kind of long at this point.
Yeah, it is.
It's long. It sounds long when you go year to year, but there's a big gap in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of important things happen in that gap for us to be how we are now.
Yeah, a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
But basically, it all started in 2012.
Like June, maybe. Yeah, I'd say June.
And
or July, maybe.
I arrived in London in 2011, September. So I was looking for a band since I got here. So we were just posting shit to join my band and posting things to Gumtree. And
I wasn't on Gumtree at the time.
You wasn't?
Mm-mm. I know. I didn't even use Gumtree first time until last year.
It's too scary, right?
Yeah. Well, we found that out very quickly when we were looking for Davide.
Davide was from Gumtree.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. But we'll get to that actually. But yeah, I think who saw each other's ad first? I guess I saw your ad.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I saw your ad and I wrote to you.
Yeah.
Because you had the links to maybe Hazy.
I think so, yeah.
Which is the first track of our first EP.
So yeah, we posted a bunch of ads and we found each other. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
And then we met and Chris went to my house, went to my flat. At the time, my flat was like an improvised
It was a room.
It was a improvised room on top of a state agency, and it wasn't really even a real room because it didn't have a real toilet and it didn't have a real roof. Or
No. Well, you had a nice little roof terrace.
yeah, that was cool.
That was nice.
But so he went there in my room, and we just had to hang out in the same room for hours.
Yeah.
Like we had no escape. Like
What
we
did
didn't.
you think?
It was weird because we didn't say like, oh, let's meet at the mall or whatever.
Well, no, I mean, think about this for a second. I just entered this guy's house I'd never met.
Yeah.
And hung out for 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
And it could have been a very different ending that day.
Yeah, I could have killed you, man.
Yeah, you definitely
And,
could have.
and especially in Wilsden. Not saying bad things about Wilsden, but I do hate it.
That's saying a bad thing.
No, it's
No, but to be fair, Wilson isn't. Sorry, but it isn't. Great. So yeah, all right. What was your first impressions of me, Julian?
my first impression was that your bass was really shit.
That's a fair impression to have because it was.
The second impression is you were really skinny.
Yeah, and that didn't change.
That didn't change. You are a little bit less skinny, I think.
Yeah, no,
maybe it's just a beard, but I don't know.
Yeah, look, I have. There it is. Because you don't even know. In this. Oh, there we go. This is better. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just a beard. I didn't really have one at the time.
But and I thought you were quite innocent and pure at heart. I was like, oh, look at this little boy, so young, so nice.
So young. How many fucking what? How
You're 21 or something?
I'm 29. No, now. Well, now I am.
Yeah.
At the time, I must have been just about like 23.
Yeah. But
Which
you
is
looked
fucking
pretty
crazy.
You looked pretty young.
Yeah.
And weak and fragile, and I just wanted to grab you in my arms and take
Just
care
raise me up.
make you a real man. But yeah, that's how we met. So he went to my flat and we played we played together for like probably an hour and a half or
Well,
something.
yeah, because you sent me. Well, Hazy was in your ad, so I learnt that.
Yeah.
Badly, mind you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, my bass playing skills in 2012
Yeah.
were shit.
Yeah, Chris didn't know how to play bass at that point. He was
Yeah.
just like, nope.
Just basic bass.
Yeah.
I owe this band and the gap between like the little break we had for me getting better at bass. But like the Hazy bass line is like the at the time was so
The
difficult.
hardest thing.
So difficult to me. And now I play it now and I can sing while I play it.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh man. So
Fuck
proud of
me,
you.
man. There's no way in hell like I could have done that like back then. So yeah, we played that and then
I showed you Orange Love, I think.
yeah, you showed me Orange Love. We played like a couple of Blink
And
songs.
maybe Howl as well. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Howl was pretty. It's a pretty old song.
You probably showed me some tracks on your computer at the time. But then
we just talked about Blink for probably the
we
rest of
talked
the time.
about Blink and stuff. And I think then after that we met up a couple of more times at your flat.
Yeah.
And then
Because we were looking for a drummer
yeah.
desperately,
So we
as we are now.
fucking hell, like history repeats itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we put out some ads to find Davide, and then that's when I put an ad up on During My Band, and you put one up on Gumtree.
Yeah.
And we ended up finding the same person. Do you remember that?
That's true. Yeah, he answered both of our ads. That bitch.
Yeah, and it happened to be the same band.
Yeah.
So, well, kind of band at the time. Oh, shit! I should probably... Oh, no, that didn't come into fruition yet, but I'll get to that in 2 seconds. So what, we met up with Davide, like, pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, we went to this creepy old studio
Man.
near my flat in Wilsden. I'm not gonna name it because the guy's probably still there, so I don't want to like ruin the studio for anyone that doesn't know it. You should go there because it's an experience. But anyways, the studio looks like a old beaten down conference room from the 70s or like a classroom from the 70s
It really,
or whatever.
really does.
And I think it was a classroom in the 70s. And we met with Davide, and he just knew how to play all the Blink songs.
Yeah, well, we played Hal. No, sorry, we played Hazy for sure.
Yeah.
I think is that the only song we played that was ours? I'm pretty sure we must.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Orange Love.
Maybe Orange Love or Hal. That's definitely the only three that we had.
Yeah.
And then we played Everlong. I remember that.
Oh, really? Already? Mm-hmm. Holy shit! We were going for it.
And maybe a couple of Blink songs, and then. Yeah, but we knew, the thing is with him, we knew straight away, that's our guy.
Yeah, he was an amazing drummer. We couldn't understand what kind of person he was yet.
Yeah,
that's very mysterious. He was wearing a capoeira shirt, which is a Brazilian fighting thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm Brazilian, so I thought that was weird. And he was like, I do capoeira, and he was pretty happy about it.
And my girlfriend was there. She was at our very first
holy fuck, yeah.
rehearsrsal.
Yeah, she was at my flat before.
Yeah, we were hanging out, and then she
came. Yeah,
she came and she watched the first. She's the first person in the world to see us perform.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy. Never really thought of that.
So we knew he was like our drummer. We didn't know him as a person too well yet because we didn't hang out with him. He just left.
Yeah,
I think the story from Davide's side that was the first day he had his bike.
Yeah.
So I think he just got on his bike and left.
Yeah, yeah.
Or so, I don't know. Anyways, so we met him, and then we started practicing with Davide quite a lot. And things were going well, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the thing I was about to say a little while ago is the name of our band and where it came from. Because I really wish, maybe even somewhere that exists, but I'm pretty sure somewhere I wrote down a fucking load of names.
Yeah, I think we did. We had like a sheet of paper with a lot of names.
And I wish that we had that right now. I bet some of them is shit.
I think one of them was like Drop the Whale.
Yeah, you're right. You're fucking right. I've forgotten all about that.
Drop the Whale. And I had a little drawing for it.
Yeah, we did have a little... yeah, we did. So one morning I woke up and I was reading an old graphic novel of Batman of the Future.
Ooh.
Then this thing was old. It must like 96. It probably come out. Yeah, maybe something like that. And I was reading it, not thinking about our band at the time. And then I read basically Batman's grabbing this professor by the scruff of the neck, and he's like telling him to snap out of it.
Yeah, and you showed me this.
I instantly thought snap out of it, but then I thought snap out, and then I sent that to you, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think
because it was short, it was nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's weird because we were like, there must be a band with this name already.
Yeah, and we were fucking surprised that wasn't taken.
Yeah.
I think there's another, not anymore, they must have split up in like 2012, but there's another band called Snap Out of it. But yeah, but Snap Out is ours. Fuck yes.
And it's pretty clear that we have it for 6 years now.
It's kind of like 6, almost 7 years.
Yeah, so it's ours.
Yeah, so don't even try.
But anyway, so we started practicing with Davide. We booked a gig pretty quickly, didn't we?
Oh man, yes we did. Retro Bar in
which doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
I think.
Yeah,
I actually found another retro bar in Charing Cross the other day,
and
I was like, is it the same?
But the thing is, no, I think there's a lot of pubs that are just named the same.
Yeah.
That just happens a lot anyway.
Yeah.
But Retro Bar, God fucking knows who we supported, but it was at Halloween.
So we were dressed as kind of zombies.
Yeah, we had the worst pound shop makeup on you could possibly imagine.
I bought it at Poundland, yeah.
Probably on this video we can put an image, because I have pictures of that.
Yeah, we'll put shit on the video, guys, because I think might be more into. We only have one camera right now. We have a very small structure for a little podcast, so bear with us, okay?
Come up with this idea like 3 days ago.
It's gonna get better.
So yeah, first gig. How do you think that went?
It wasn't bad musically, I thought, for a band that had never played before.
Yeah. Oh, actually, fuck, dude. Didn't you have that gig already as Julian?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I remember on the bill, maybe on Facebook, it had your name.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think if you watch the video, you say at the start like something along the lines of, you know, it was meant to be just you, but now it's a Snap Out or something.
Yeah, that's true. I had that gig already.
Yeah.
When we got this gig, when I got this gig, I was just Julian Graham.
But now we're Snap Out and we're a real band. with more than. But it was a good gig because it's better to have a shit gig as the first gig than a good gig as a first gig, I think.
There was a few fun. I mean, I remember when we played It's You, I completely fucked up the bridge, so I just stopped playing and danced instead.
Yeah.
And there was stage banter, all from you, because if you don't remember, my mic didn't work.
That's true.
So I didn't have one.
And I was saying, like, because I get really angry when the crowd is like quiet and not really enjoying, so I just try to say the most offensive thing.
Yeah.
So I remember I said something about who here likes to masturbate while eating Nutella.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can hear in the video a guy just goes like, what? The next song, it's called Tonight, and it's about, when you really want to masturbate, but you feel like you want to have some chocolate at the same time, and you just do both at the same time. It's the best experience you could ever imagine. That song's about that, or not.
So good.
Somebody was really we'll put these pieces of video if we can.
Yeah, we've got all this shit. And then second gig was New Cross Inn.
Yep.
And
we are one of the original bands that ever played New Cross Inn. As soon as they started doing gigs, I think we were one of the first ones.
So back when the place was terribly promoted, and there was no one there for shows.
No one.
So that was fun. And then now, so that gig was just another gig, really. There's nothing to really say about it. And then our third show is basically we entered a contest, the Hard Rock Rising.
Oh, we had a comedy pub before, didn't we?
That was afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely our third. I remember it being our third show.
Okay.
But we entered this Hard Rock Rising thing, which is the Hard Rock Cafe, like Battle of the Bands, essentially. And we entered it, and we tried to get a bunch of votes, because that's what you do, and then they choose the people with the highest votes.
But no one likes us. So.
No, and we were practically unknown at the time.
And we have no friends.
And that too. So that was so true back then. We had no one coming to our shows. No one fucking knew us.
Yeah.
So we entered this, and we didn't get through because we didn't get enough votes. But then, by some fucking stroke of luck, I was in Birmingham at the time, just walking around, like kind of early in the morning, and I got a random phone call.
Yeah. And an actual phone call. People still call people.
Yeah, and we were told that we'd been chosen as the wild card for fucking the Hard Rock Rising thing.
Yeah, because probably one of the employees just really liked us.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened.
And I think it was more than one employee. It was just like the team
just chose us.
Chose a band. Yeah,
I think it was divided into like areas. So as within the area of London, I think we were the
wild card.
The wild card. And that, I think, was definitely, from our first run, would you say the best show we played?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
It was short.
Yeah.
And I think maybe there was other shows that were better, maybe like the Monarch.
Yeah.
Or the Comedy Club or something.
Yeah.
But that show, I think, we were fucking happy with it. We got really good compliments from the judges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
we didn't win, obviously.
We didn't win. I guess we shouldn't go into that because we'd really shit on other people.
Yeah. There was a really weird act that won. Let's just say that. And nobody understood. Everybody, when they said the name of the winner, everybody was like, what?
Yeah, it was dodgy, man. Something went right. And that makes us sound really bitter, like, we didn't win.
I am bitter.
But no, it sounds like we think it was fixed. I'm saying it's fixed, but
I think it was fixed.
Something wasn't right, man.
I say it straight. I think it was fixed.
Something weren't right.
I don't trust any competitions, like especially these American Idol, X Factor styled competitions. But we just played it because we wanted to play.
But there was the biggest crowd we played to at that point, and we had a fucking great time. Do you remember when we had to go? Me, you, and Davide. We had to go to their like boardroom and sign that contract.
That's true. Yeah,
that was
had,
so
like,
fucking
historical guitars on the walls.
Yeah, jackets and shit. Elton John jackets and Jimi Hendrix stuff. It was insane.
It was cool. Yeah,
that was weird.
That bit was cool.
But then, like, let's not talk about every gig we did. We did a whole bunch of gigs after that.
Yeah. My cat's here.
Oh yeah, let's not forget we fucking recorded an EP.
Two EPs.
Two EPs.
Like a really bad one, because at the time I was studying audio engineering. So I had a studio for me to use for free. So the first EP, the one with Hazy and How and Orange Love, it was really just me trying to learn how to do that shit.
I mean, I listen back to, I mean, as a person who's not a fucking audio engineer or a producer or anything, I listen back to those tracks still. All right, yeah, you hold them up to Dino Dino or any newer stuff you've done, and it's like, you can clearly tell the difference. But every band's early stuff sounds...
Yeah.
You know,
I think it sounds pretty much like Bad Religion in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah, and it's just
like that sound, the 90s punk sound.
It's kind of it's really clean though, way too clean.
Yeah,
and like we got a bit of dirt on the second EP.
Yeah,
and like, but you look back, but you look fondly on them because of the time and the memories and shit like that.
Yeah. The only thing that I regret is How, like, I think is one of our best songs.
Yeah.
And that's the worst song, the worst mix that I've ever done, I think.
And I think it's way too slow.
Yeah.
Like, for what... we probably play it double the fucking speed.
We might re-record that song at some
I'm totally up for re-recording that track. I think it would sound so good now, I think.
Yeah.
Like, really fucking good.
Anyway, so we recorded the first EP. The second EP was crazy because we did it all during like really late hours,
like pretty much over the night,
because I was working at the school now, so I stayed at the school from 10 till we stayed at the school from 10 till 6.
Yeah, sometimes
to
you'd
5.
work until 10 p.m.
Yeah,
I'd come. I was unemployed at the time, which was fucking brilliant for the band because I could just do anything whenever I wanted.
Yeah,
and yeah, we'd work literally from 10 p.m. to 4 or 6 a.m. or something, just record.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the most fun summers of my life. And I swear to God, I fucking mean that. Because it was just so just fun. I mean,
and we were going full on nuts. Like we recorded guitars in big rooms. We used like weird echoes, weird effects. We even captured a ghost on tape one time.
That happened.
Like we were recording screams and Chris screamed. We're gonna put a snippet of it. I think I've had.
Yeah, you surely had that somewhere.
So Chris screamed in Today. We were recording the screams for Today.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
and he went like oh, and then right after that you could hear a woman in the background like.
Yeah, I swear. Oh, it gave me chills just thinking about it, man. For real.
Because it was like 3 a.m. at a dark old
no one around.
Factory.
Definitely no one around. It's like a fucking soundproof studio, obviously. It's a professional studio. There's nothing in there.
And that used to be like a piano factory, used to be a card factory.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people died there probably. I don't know. I don't believe in ghosts, but
that was creepy.
But that was creepy. And yeah, so we recorded Dino Diner, and then we had our last gig at the O2 Academy.
Yeah,
which was horrible for me, especially.
For you, especially. For me, it was. There was one part of that show which the fact that we were playing an O2 venue was cool. I guess for the first time we could say we had our own dressing room because we did.
Yeah,
and that was cool. And for me, like. Something clicked in my mind. If you watch any footage of me from any gig before that show, I'm pretty stale on stage. I don't move much. But something about that gig, because of the venue we were at, and the crowd was decent. We had a decent crowd that night. I got moving.
Yeah.
And I'm now confident on the stage after that show. So, but yeah,
it was our last one.
That was our last show.
It was a shit show because first of all, it was pay to play. At that time, it was common to do pay to play. Second of all, I was pretty stressed because I had just finished mixing the album, and I booked the show. I did a bunch of things, and I was just like really tired of it all. And then when I went on stage, the sound was so bad for us on stage.
And you were having tons of like problems with your guitar.
My guitar was breaking.
Your effects, I don't know, everything was fucking going wrong with you, man. Yeah,
so it was a shit show for me, but nobody really noticed. It was fine.
Yeah, I think you noticed because it was you, and it looks like in your mind it was a shit show. I left the stage thinking it was great.
Yeah,
but. So then that was at the 18th of December. I remember the dates.
Yeah, Chris is weird with that shit.
Yeah, so 18th of December was 2013 was our last ever show. And I guess like a few weeks by, Christmas went. And then that's when...
I think I went to New York.
Yeah, you did.
Or was it that...
No, you went afterwards.
Okay.
So then the breakup happened.
Yeah.
And I guess...
because the thing was, at the time, I was really pissed off that I was doing everything in
Yeah.
the band, and it was true because David, he was always like
And
just
that's
a drummer
okay
at that
because
point.
we've always,
Yeah,
no matter now or in the past, we've always kind of said like, well, not said like, it was just kind of like unwritten law. He didn't do anything in the band, and that's okay with us. We were both completely cool with that. But it's yeah. Carry on.
so David didn't do much. Chris was always there, but he was a support. He was always there with me, but I was doing most of the boring shit.
Yeah.
And I was getting desperate because I was starting to feel old, and I moved countries, and it was like just the ending of a really weird era of coming to a new country, seeing that things are not as simple as you think they are, and you're getting older, and you have no money, you have no family near you, and it's just a mess. And I just got really angry. And I thought I can do this shit on my own, and I left.
Yeah, that's pretty much. And it was not like a done deal in one fucking conversation.
No, we had loads of fights.
We had loads of fights, and it went on for a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks. And I think we met up on the 4th of January, again, dates.
Yeah.
4th of January, me, you, and Davide, we met up in Central somewhere, and I went to a pub and had a chat.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. Like, I was incredibly upset at the time. Yeah. And, like, so I fucking adored the band. But this is the thing. So, like, as you said, I was there all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, as I said earlier, we could record overnight. I was unemployed. So no matter what you were doing, I could be there.
Yeah.
So sweet, I could be there, but that's about it. And I could help in the ways I could, but at the time, I was younger. I didn't have too much experience being in bands apart from really small time ones that did fuck all. This is my first ever successful band. I had no fucking idea what it took to be in a band.
Yeah.
So at the time when the band split up, I was like, fuck this. This is bullshit, man. What's this guy talking about? Like, didn't see it at all.
And I didn't understand Chris as well. I didn't make any. We both made the mistake of like not trying to put ourselves in the other guy's shoes.
Yeah.
So we were just, it's just, when we fought, we didn't stop to think like, why are we fighting?
Yeah.
Or how can we solve this? We were just fighting.
Yeah. And it was, looking back on it, obviously, as you do on fights, it's silly, and it is what it is. And like, I totally see where I went wrong that time round.
Yeah.
And like, you were completely panicking that you were coming up to 30 years old.
Yeah.
And you were,
I'm 30 now.
I'm 30 and I'm not a multi-million pound record label, fucking famous and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that was and like, to me, that was ridiculous. And I think now you think the same thing. Like,
yeah.
At the time, going back, right, you probably tell yourself, dude, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
And I'd probably tell myself to fix the fuck up. And,
that was one of these things. You're too young, and you're just not ready to do something.
Yeah.
Just not ready. And
then, yes, we went our separate ways, basically. Yeah. And Davide didn't really do anything musically for between like 2014 to 2017.
Yeah.
He did nothing. And you did a bunch of solo stuff.
I did a bunch of solo stuff. I did a lot of songwriting with Cleo, my wife, and I did a bunch of mixing for people. I started doing a lot of video and shit. But I did play a lot with a lot of different musicians, and I got a lot better at playing and just knowing how to record and knowing how to do things. But I didn't do much relevant things. I just did things on my own.
Yeah. And then while I was at the band, I early on, I think for about a year, I did nothing. And then I was in a few punk bands here and there, and played a few shows here and there. And then I was in a covers band for about a year and a half with 3 friends that I'd known for like years and years, like childhood friends. And we were like doing like the cover band circuit for a while, and I always, it's funny because when I was, before I was in that band, I always used to tell my fiance Jodie, I used to tell her, I will never be in a cover band. I will never do it. And then I joined, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun. We played 2-hour shows, 2.5-hour shows, and we had a set list of, you know, on a set list, you know, 30 to 40 songs, but as a whole list of what we knew, just over 100.
Yeah.
150 songs, and, you know, doing that, first of all, being in Snap Out helped me be a better musician, but then fucking being in the cover band, like, I just, like, made me so much better as a musician, playing wise, because I had to play all these different styles I'd never ever played before, and never even would have thought of playing. So, and not only that, then being in all these different punk bands, I got to write, you know, start like properly write, which I've never really had the chance to do before either. So I got a little bit more experience in writing. So it all helped with us eventually getting back together.
Yeah.
Like everything that you went through and I went through in that gap helped us, you know, is helping us now, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it would have made, you know, I think it was right to, even though it ended on bad terms, it was right to stop.
Yeah.
Because it was almost as if we needed all of this shit to happen for us to now get back together, and it to be, in my opinion, fucking infinitely better than it was before.
Yeah. And I think it was, we just needed to calm down.
Yeah, the thing is, between, you know, I don't know what year it was, but a couple of times between us splitting up and getting back together, we did meet up a couple of times.
Yeah.
And, like, it was cool and it was civil, but I guess there was an air of something. You know, it's like when you...
Just like both of us, we wanted just to say, like, hey... just wanted to be like, hey, man, I want to play with you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like when
but we still were kind of upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weird.
Because
it wasn't right as well at that time.
It just, the timing had to be right.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like when being in a band, it's exactly like, I've always said this. I think a lot of people say this. Being in a band is exactly like being with a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You have to do the right things. You have to put the work in. You can't let it all be one person doing everything. And, you know, you have to, it's got to be a good balance between everyone.
Yeah.
And when you split up, you look back fondly when you're single anyway. You look back fondly on ex-girlfriends and go, oh.
Yeah.
You know, and that, you know, with this band, I got in all these different bands, and every band I got in, I was like, fuck, this is still nothing like Sap Out. It's like nothing's working.
Yeah.
Everything that I get started or get involved with is it's not even touching anything we achieved. And if you think about, we were together not even that long. From June 2012 to December 2013.
Yeah.
That's it. And I feel like we did a lot of fucking good stuff in that time.
Yeah.
2 really decent EPs, you know, a couple of decent cover songs, like the Rihanna song we did, you know, playing the
good places,
you know, the Hard Rock Cafe, the
Monarch,
the
Camden,
the O2 Academy and stuff. Like, it's fucking insane. And but yeah, and I remember one time me and you met individually. We went to the diner.
Yeah.
And like we were chatting and we just caught up and stuff. I think it was the first time we met in 2 years.
Yeah.
Or even spoke to each other. And I said to you, like on the, I remember this. We were on the way to the station. You were going home, and I was like, dude, man, if you're like play together sometime.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, you just tell me, man. I'm totally up for it. And you're like, yeah, man. We'll see you, mate. It's so fucking awkward. But I had to throw it out there.
Yeah.
And that was like 26, not even that, 2015. Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe 2016, maybe. But it was years before we got back together.
Yeah, and we met one more time. When did we meet?
We met you, me, and Davide as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was cool. We got chatting about a bunch of shit. That was nice.
Yeah.
And then, and you know, we talk occasionally here and there. Nothing big. A message here and there. Hey, how's it going? Like, shit like that. And then, what? March this year?
I think so. February. February.
Was it February?
Yeah, because
yeah, well, you're
wasn't
right.
here.
'Cause it
Yeah.
was the very start of March. So February.
So February, I got drunk, really drunk one night. And I just messaged Chris like 10 messages, like, I want to play again.
See, like, I was literally going to ask you in this podcast, were you drunk when you first messaged me?
Yeah, but you see how alcohol can be a good thing depending on the person and the situation.
Do you think you would have messaged me if you weren't?
Probably not as soon as I did, but probably before July.
So I guess it was on your mind to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't. No, I was thinking about it for a long time. I was thinking, man, I should just get back with them. It was just like stupid. Everything was stupid. Should just get back with them. And then I talked to Davide a couple of times. I was like, oh, Davide is cool, man. Oh, shit. Then I guess you guys were in my mind, and I went out and I messaged Samir first. Samir is one of my best friends here. And he was always around Snap Out.
Yeah, he's always been there, like recording. He was, yeah, he's always been like it's not just like a fourth member that done nothing.
Yeah, he did help on the O2 gig.
Yeah, yeah,
because he was acting like our manager, and he was pretty tough on people. It was cool.
Yeah,
but so he was always around us, and I messaged him first, and I was like, man, I'm so fucking drunk, yeah, and shit. And he was like, oh, when you gonna play live again? I was like, oh, fuck, man, why did he put these thoughts in my mind? And then I was just like going home or whatever. I don't know, because that night, actually, I got so drunk that I blacked out.
Wow, that bad.
But it was after I messaged you, but I messaged you, and I said like all the usual drunk things. And I answered you to the end, I think. We had a full conversation.
We did. I was out having a meal with my girlfriend and my mum. And I mean, what could
did you have to hide your emotions at first? Like,
I was just
what is it, Chris? Nothing.
So confused. So like we were just obviously just chatting and eating dinner.
Yeah.
And at a restaurant. And I got the message from you. And I got it, and I think I replied to you, and I put my phone down, and I just started eating again. And I didn't know what to say or do, and then I just looked up at Jodie, and I was like, she's got a message from Julian. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I said, he wants to play again. I was like, she was like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, it was for the furthest thing on my mind. I mean, this is the thing. So many times over the years, it was kind of different for me. I wanted to play. I want to get this back together. Whereas I think, but then I got to a point maybe mid last year where I was like, it's not going to happen. I need to let that go now. I need to realize that it's not going to happen now. So I just lost all hope and just forgot. I just forgot all about it. I just like, this isn't going to happen now. And then you fucking messaged me, and I'm like, oh.
And all the emotions come back.
Yeah,
and you start getting confused.
It was like just playing with my emotions. Then so what? Then I spoke to you the next day, surely, and you weren't drunk then.
And I didn't change my mind. Look at that.
Yeah.
See? Imagine
That's lucky.
Imagine if I was like, what? What you talking about?
Oh man, no, I'm not even kidding to you. I was genuinely expecting the next morning that you were going to be like, I'm sorry about last night. I was drunk. I actually want to get back together again. Relationships, just like being with a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Drunk boyfriend. I'm so sorry. I love you still. You should totally be together.
And that's just to teach you kids that sometimes when you're drunk messaging people, like probably 90% of the times you shouldn't be doing it.
It's true.
But 10% of the times it might be the right thing to do. It might be your real self back there, just being like, I'm gonna use this time
to do something he has
no
meaning to do.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But then I blacked out and I got home mysteriously. Maybe I was raped. I don't know.
He's hoping.
So there was the two cold sides of beverage that night happened. Like actually the warm side and the cold side. The cool side was good. The other side is I don't know how I got home. But I woke up. I always get home. That's why I get drunk. If I didn't know that, I wouldn't get drunk. But anyway, so Chris came to my flat probably a week later.
Yeah.
We had like a deep conversation about emotions.
We just spoke about what we've spoken about now, essentially. Yeah. And then we were like, it was just the weirdest thing to just be like, so we're doing this again, right?
Yeah.
Because
Then we were like, gotta message Davide.
it's like the big fat elephant in the room. Like, who mentions it first?
Yeah.
And then but then we soon as we mentioned it, everything felt better again. I think the
Yeah.
awkward aura disappeared.
Yeah.
And then we messaged Davide that night and asked him, and he was totally up for it. But that's where the spanner in the works came in. He was like, totally up for it, but I'm leaving soon. He's leaving
For Japan.
For Japan, he's leaving the country.
It's not like Europe or
moving
something.
moved to Japan for 6 months, and then he's moved to Frankfurt forever.
Yeah.
And to be nearer to his family, he was in Italy. So, it bummed us out, but we were totally up for doing this again. So I think very start of March, I think it was March 1st, come to think of it.
Yeah. And it was weird because Davide hadn't played for ages.
Nope.
And we were playing, so we kind of knew that we would be able to play our songs, but we were like, I wonder if Davide is going to be in shape, if he's going to... As soon as Davide came in an hour and a half late, as always, but as soon as he got in the studio, we played like nothing had ever happened.
It was so weird. I was expecting that would be, it would be cool, but yeah.
It was just we played the same quality of the set was the same quality as it was at the O2 Academy. It was just like, cool.
Yeah, that was weird.
And from then on, it just got better. But like that first time was just like, I was in 2012 again.
Yeah, it's like it literally picked up from where it left off perfectly.
Yeah.
So then, we just did a bunch of sessions.
We did a really good gig at the New Cross Inn.
Yeah, so then and now this is the difference now with Snap Out now to what it was before. So with the disagreement before of me not doing enough, now I'm doing things.
Which is good because he's better at some things that I am.
So it's a good balance. So I'm getting us gigs. I'm doing our social media pretty much now. And, anything that we have to do socially and you're getting in touch with people, that's me.
Anything that needs to be...
Anything that needs sorting out, I'll sort it out. You just sort out everything that needs to be done at home, basically.
Yeah, because I don't talk to people.
HQ.
I'm really antisocial, so I don't...
And to be honest, I'm not the best of people persons. Yeah, that.
You're good enough.
But I'm good enough. And over, in the last few years, I've met people and promoters, and I know I've been to loads of shows like at the New Cross Inn where there's a big resurging scene in London now for punk music, and I've got myself kind of not in there much, but I know some people, and it's helped me for sure. Getting us gig, and we had our first ever fucking show back. Never in a million years, this is weird. Just things like this happen to us. But yeah, I asked if we could get a show with
at the New Cross
Inn, and there's these really good promoters, Mike and Paul, who run B Sharp Promotions, and I messaged them to see if we could get a show, and I was expecting fucking, whatever. They do shows there.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, they do shows there 6 days a week, man. I was expecting anything. And anything would have done. And then they gave us a fucking show. What day was that? Friday or Saturday night?
Friday, I think.
I think it was a Friday night. Friday night with fucking a band signed to Fat Records.
We opened for Get Dead.
We opened for Get Dead. And
then we opened for Burn Tapes and
Dissociates.
The Dissociates, which are pretty good bands.
Yeah, and those bands are big within the scene in London. Get Dead are a fucking signed punk band from the US. Like, they're a fucking, a big deal, essentially. And we got these two bands that are pretty big in the scene. So for us to basically be a new band, at this point, these years later, no one knows who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
So to put a band that is unknown on a bill with those is amazing, and they basically took a chance. We could have sounded like shit.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
We will always be one of the original bands from the New Cross Inn, though.
Yes, this is true. But yeah, so... Yeah.
So we played with Davide. It was amazing.
And it was a fucking great gig.
We played an amazing gig, which was our first acoustic gig at a weird situation, but we played in between a guy talking about volcanoes and a lady talking about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And it was like...
It's called A Pint of Science. It's just science lectures in pubs.
And it was amazing as well. It was packed. Everybody liked us. And that just leaves us now.
Yeah, so where we are now is drummerless, essentially.
Yeah, we have Davide for one more gig,
Hopefully.
And
at Polite, so we're playing at Polite Riot Festival in a few weeks. You know, again, like to put us on that bill is insane. We're playing with Teenage Bottle Rocket and a Wilhelm Scream and Apologies I Have None and people like that, and all the other big bands that are from the scene in London. And it's, you know, don't give a shit what time of the day we're playing and what day we're playing. We're playing the fucking festival, and that's really cool. And then we've got another show on the 19th of July, again at the New Cross Inn.
yeah, which will be with our new drummer. That can be
whoever
you.
that is.
It can be you.
Yeah, please be you.
We'll put our the ad for our new drummer at the end of this video, so you know what kind of person we're expecting.
Yeah,
okay?
and that's pretty much it. And I guess the future holds is us.
We just wrote the first song of a new album. Now we're doing a full-length album.
We're doing a full LP, yeah.
So we have our first new song, the first song that we actually collaborated fully together.
Yeah, like that's that's an actual 50-50. Your cat's
My cat's destroyed. Suki! There she goes.
Fighting the shit out of this thing. Yeah, it's the first song we've actually properly 50-50 collaborated on, and I think it's a fucking good song.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't sound like anything that we'd ever done before.
Yeah, I think there's a different sound now,
and it's very punk.
Yeah,
and but it's still very snap out. So
yeah,
we're excited for that, and we're gonna play these gigs. It's gonna be awesome, and we are gonna keep doing these podcasts.
Yeah, I guess this probably be the only one that's going to be about us.
Yeah.
I think in the future...
we thought we were going to talk for about half an hour today, and it's been 45 minutes.
Has it? Shit, the bed it has. I got to get home somehow.
Oh, man. I wish I still had my rented car, but I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're still going to do these. Hopefully, we're going to have guests. We're gonna do these from different locations, different situations, about everything. You can send questions about Snap Out or anything.
You can send us questions about anything you want.
We're gonna talk about anything that we want, and you can send us questions.
You can send us your band's song, and we'll probably play it on the podcast.
Yeah, find Snap Out on Instagram's the best place.
Yeah, or
you can leave a comment on YouTube.
We're on everything. Just search us up.
Just don't go for Twitter because
we don't use that.
Yeah,
it exists, but we don't use it.
Yeah.
Just send us a message and whatever, and we'll...
You can ask me for sexual advices. I'm the most appropriate person for that.
It's true. I can vouch for this.
I'm medically licensed.
Medically licensed sexual advisor.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
And we'll leave you with the ad for
being our
drummer search. Yeah. So you know how you have to play.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
How do you end a podcast?
With a hug?
Yeah, I guess. That was nice.
Thank you.
Oh, you're rubbing my ribs.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should end it here.
Okay, roll the credits.
Yeah. Oh, my ears are sweaty.
Good night, guys.